What's up, guys? This is Nate. Welcome back to Strength Cycle. I've been getting a lot of questions lately from lots of people about what my training program is right now, what I'm on. So I'm going to explain that and explain, the progression, and I'll explain where I got it and how it all works. What I'm using is the Stronglifts 5x5, and that comes from the website Stronglifts.com, which I think is a compilation of a guy on one of the bodybuilding forums. Well, he's actually on a lot of forums, and it's a compilation of all of his articles. And basically, it's a modification to the Starr Pendlay 5x5 routine, which is a combination of a program by Bill Starr from it's one of his 5x5 routines from this book, The Strongest Shall Survive, Strength Training for Football, and Glenn Pendlay had made some changes to it. He's a famous American Olympic weightlifting coach, and basically it's a pretty simple program. And what this is a squat-centric program. So I'm going to be squatting 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And here's how it works for the squats. On Monday, 5 sets of 5 at a constant weight. And then on Wednesday, take 10 to 20% off of that number, and that's what you're doing for 5 sets of 5 on Wednesday. Then on Friday, we're doing 5 sets of 5, but we're ramping up to a top set of 5 reps, a heavier set of 5 reps. And the rest of the program is this. Monday, it's squats, bench, and Pendlay rows, which is a row where you start from a dead stop on the ground and you don't get that swing of your body, and your torso try to keep it as close to 90 degrees to the ground as possible, as opposed to a more traditional row where you're about a 45-degree angle and a lot of swing in there. And that's fine. I used to do those a lot. It's perfectly acceptable. This is just a variation. So that's Monday's workout, and then that repeats again on Friday. Squat, bench, and rows. And the rep scheme switches. So on Monday, we're going to be doing squats, 5 sets of 5 at a constant weight. And then on bench and rows, we're going to do 5 sets of 5 ramping up to a top set. On Friday, that switches. We're going to be ramping up to a top set of 5 in the squat. And we're going to be doing constant sets of 5 reps for the other 2 lifts. And each week, you're going to add... what I've been doing is adding 10 pounds to the squat numbers and 5 pounds to the bench and row numbers. And I started pretty low because adding weight like that, it really adds up as the program gets going. And you don't want to get to a point too soon where you're missing reps and stumbling and you screw the whole program up. You want to get quality reps in. So if it's a little low at first and the reps are pretty easy, that's good. That just gives you more experience under the bar, more experience, more opportunity to work on good form and stuff like that. Wednesday's workout is squats, the snatch-grip high pull, overhead press, and they allow you to do either strict military, or a push press. I'm using a push press because it's kind of hard for me. It's actually harder for me to do properly than the strict military press, as it's a lack of flexibility in my upper back and then with my legs and with my ankles and stuff. And it's in that front racked position. It's similar to a front squat. That quarter squat at the top, that dip, is a little hard. So I want to work on that, and that's part of the... And it's by doing that, it's a little bit more of an explosive movement too. You got to get some drive in, and I want to transition to a lot more explosive movements than I've been doing, in any of my training stuff that I did this past year. So squats, snatch grip high pulls, overhead press, and then weighted pull-ups. Although first week starts with no weight, and then I progress slowly on that. 5 sets of 5 with all of those on Wednesday, and then you just add 5 pounds a week. That sounds simple enough, and here's where the Stronglifts version of this is an advanced routine. This is where it starts to change and deviate away from an intermediate or a beginner routine, which is going to use linear progression all the way through. For like, say, 10, 12 weeks, you're going to keep adding 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or whatever to those lifts each week. This is got a volume phase in the beginning. where we're doing 5 sets of 5. We're adding 5 pounds a week, let's say. On week 5, we're going to transition to 3 sets of 3. And we're going to get rid of that light squat workout on Wednesday. So you're going to transition on all that stuff to 3 sets of 3 and up the weight. And that's what's going to happen for week 5 through 9. And it gives you the option to do a deload on week 5, where you scale back to 3 sets of 3 at like 60% of your max, which is quite light, to give you a break before jumping into the higher weights. Or what I've chosen to do, the other option they give you, is week 5 is similar to a deload, because you're doing 3 sets of 3, but you're going to use the same weights that you ended last week with for 5 sets of 5. And same with both. Same with the constant sets and the ramping sets. Whatever you ended with on week 4, you're going to start with on week 5, so it's going to be much easier. And then you're going to start upping the weight again weeks 6 through 9. But this is the plan I'm on. I like it a lot. I would recommend looking it up and Stronglifts.com and checking out other 5x5 plans. And there's beginner ones, advanced ones, and it's a real customizable plan. You could do a lot with this template. And 5 sets of 5 is a real good rep scheme. It builds some muscle, and it's all dependent on how much you eat. You want to eat a lot, it can build a lot of muscle. If you want to not eat a lot and be cutting back a little and trimming down, it can still help you gain strength if you need to stay in a weight class for whatever reason, for whatever sport you're in. So it's good. 5 sets of 5 is good. That's actually a lot of reps at a good intensity level. I like it a lot. I really enjoy it so far. I can't wait to go to the gym every day. I really look forward to it. So I advise you guys to check it out. But look it up online, start looking for stuff like this. But the answer to getting strong is, it's actually very simple. These are easy lifts for a beginner or an advanced person to use and get good results with. They're not complicated like the Olympic lifts. That's why this program was designed this way. Easy lifts that you can get the hang of real quick if you are a beginner, and hits the whole body for the most part in those days, all the important areas. And I just like it a lot. So that's it for today's episode. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like it. If you have any questions, comments, comment below the video, and I'll try to get to you and try to address it in future videos. Until then, stay tuned for Strength Cycle.